Good morning. It's Suzy from Children's Cabinet,
Tracy from UNR Extension.
and we're the hikes team, part of the hikes team. And what we're doing is we're going to show you how to lesson plan from the blue cards and grabbing from your catch box. So when you get the catch curriculum, you'll know how to write down and how to find the cards to create your curriculum for the week.
So, say this is your lesson plan. We're going to write down the four components of catch to be prepared for your catch lesson.
So you've already had the catch, the whole catch curriculum. You went through the training, so you know about the blue cards. The blue cards are specific for warm up, cool down. Warm up, moderate, vigorous, and cool down. So this is week one. So in week one, it's all about transitions and learn and teaching the children how to, get their transitions in line, and so that way you can actually start preparing them for the actual lessons that are going to be coming up. So we'll just start with week one. In week one, it says classroom management warm up. We're going to on day one parade around. So in the purple box, the card number is 38 and 39. So we're going to find card 38 and 39. And on the classroom activities card, it has exactly how to do the warm up and cool down, which this one is parade around. So it says invisible tape, but we have cones as you see over there. So we would create a barrier or a perimeter for the children to do the parade around. So on here, we just write on our lesson plan for the first one, we would write for warm up, we'd write parade around. And then and then we'd keep our cards in the clear sleeve, so we know that those are the cards that are going to be for. We have it a couple times during the week, so we'll keep those with us for the week, and they'll be in here with the instructions. The instructions on parade around, which you learn during our training, is basically setting up a perimeter and having the kids parade around the perimeter, being trains, being animals. What's another couple of the ones that we have them do?
You could do red light, green light. That it's a good activity to do while parading around the stop start kind of symbols. You could also be, zoo animals, and you could be farm animals, and you could be all kinds of transportation.
Yes, and then on for our next one, which is our second box down, it says sit signal. So on the sit signal, then we'd find that card. It's 44 and 45.
And the nice thing about each card is you'll see that it has the name of the activity, what equipment that you're going to need that day, and then a description of what the activity will be. Some of the descriptions will be longer than others, so you can just pick a few activities. You don't have to do every single activity that's mentioned on the card. Just some examples.
And the reason why they do this is so that way it makes it easier for teachers, because not all classrooms are the same, and not all classrooms are going to want to do the same thing. So it gives you a lot of different variety of activities within that one activity. So after we write this one down, and then we'll put that in on the back side. I'll do that. We'll put this one on the back side of our clear pocket, so we can keep this one with us. A sit signal is also here. So when we keep this in our classroom, we have both of the activities, and you can pull the cards out if you need them. The third one would be your vigorous on any other week. This is week one, so this is still trying to teach the children that repetition and the consistency. So the can't sit signal, which is 46 and 47. We'll pull that card out. And this card is another card that it's more, so our sit signal is them sitting and standing, just like Tracy said, as far as our getting them those start and stop signals, right? And then this one is more of a vigorous movement activity, and it has a lot more activities for you to actually do. and then you would write that down on your lesson plan also. And then we would put this one in our sleeve. There's several ways of doing this. On your flash drives that you've received, you'll also have the cards on that flash drive, which you can just print out if it's easier for you to have them printed. And we'll put it in the card, and then we'll have that as our third activity. Then we move down to the last one, which is learn to stop, look, and listen. So again, this is another one where it's teaching the children consistency. It's card number 40 and 41. And we'll pull those cards out, and we'll do exactly what we did on the last one, and we'll put it in the back of the other one. This also has 2 cards. Some of them have 1 card and some of them have 2 cards, but they have all the activities, including if you need to adapt to a child with special needs, or you have a child who maybe can't run, or maybe who can't bend over. There are activities to adapt to children that can't do the activity the way that we need to do it.
And there's also activities on here to challenge kids that need a little bit more of a challenge. Maybe that some of these other activities are a little bit easy for them. Then it will give you kind of challenge your child to do this. So not only children that don't have the ability to do the activity, but also children that need a little bit more challenging activities.
Yes, and the good thing about week 1 and week 2, and I will show you the purple cards. The good thing about the cards are that these cards are to help you build classroom management. So we talk a lot about classroom management in our entire curriculum is based on getting the children to be able to manage themselves, self-regulation. And these 2 first weeks are really about teaching the children classroom management, and it's really helpful if you follow them in the order that they are, because it does build the consistency once again, and it does help the children build self-regulation skills. Once we go on to our first 2 weeks and we go on to our third week, you start getting more challenging activities. So, Tracy, do you want to tell me what cards? So on week 3, day 1, we would get, what's the first activity?
Listen first, then move card 83 and 84.
So we're going to find card 83 and 84. And we're going to just take those out. And once again, we're going to just write the title of what we're doing, and we're going to keep the cards. So there's enough cards here if you have different activities where you can put all of your cards in here. Once again, just like Tracy said, there's teaching suggestions, and then how to challenge, and then also adaptive ideas. So it also tells you, like, if there's a skill or if there's a CD. So up at the top where it says equipment, you have CDs, ribbons, and rhythms, and then the early childhood activity music. And what both of those do on here, if it just says track 8, it's going to be this CD. And this is also on your flash drive. So if you have access to being able to put your music onto with a USB into like a port, you can use it that way too. Or if you have a CD player, you can use it this way. So those are going to be the songs if you want songs. There are a lot of activities that you can literally make your own songs. Like I know some of the teachers like to change the animal sound cards to one of their other, like an animal song that they have on one of their other CDs, or maybe that they have saved in their device that they play onto a speaker. So, and then we'll put these away. And then what's the next one for? So this is the warm up.
Move like animals card.
Move like animals card.
94, 95.
94 and 95.
The other thing that's nice that I've also seen teachers do is adapting the activity to meet whatever themed curriculum they have. So if you move like an animal, and if you're doing bugs, you might have them be bugs as you move like animals. So you can also adapt it to meet your themed curriculum if that's the type of curriculum that your school follows.
Yes, and then these ones also on the activity card, it tells you how to do it just like the rest of them, and it tells you what it is that the children are doing specific physical literacy like size, weight, movements, running, bending, hopping. So you're getting a lot of your touching a lot of your bullet points when it comes to when it's time for you to do your what are they called? Assessments. I'm sorry. So when you're ready to do your assessments, you're already doing these activities, so you're going to know that the children can actually do them. So this is the moderate one, and then what is the vigorous one?
Mingle Mingle, 54 and 55.
So mingle mingle is always fun. So one thing I say about mingle is it is your move activity. So M for move, mingle, mingle, move. Those are things that are taught in the training. But just to remind you, anytime it says mingle, mingle, it means to move. Skitter, scatter means to stop. So the mingle, mingle, and you take out, there it is. You take out your mingle, mingle card, and it tells you exactly how to do it. Walk on tiptoes, walk with giant steps. So these are different activities within the mingle mingle that you can do, and there's also songs to go along with it. But this helps the children to understand that mingle mingle means to move, move, move. Don't touch each other. And so this is a really good card. This is another classroom management card, but it's moving beyond what we've already learned in week 1 and week 2.
And what I like about mingle mingle is that it is a transition word, like Suzy was saying. And so you could use it in your classroom to transition really anything from one activity to the next, right? We're going to mingle mingle to our next activity. And it just means we're going to move, right? We're going to transition to our next spot or our next activity. And then the last one for this one is yoga poses, 473 and through 477. So this will give you an activity plus some yoga cards in case you don't know the movements. It will give you cards that help you to guide through those yoga poses. Yep, 473 through 477.
Oh, that's a lot of cards. So yes, so it does have on the front, it does not have the yoga poses, but in the back of your book, does it, or is it back
here? Examples. So it will say like half moon, and these are the words to how you would do a half moon, and triangle side stretch. So I do think that there's cards in here that match the pictures, but these are just written instructions of the yoga poses.
We also provide a poster for your classroom that is the ABCs of yoga once you're in your second year of message boards. So, I don't see them. Okay,
well, you have written instructions on how to do that yoga pose.
And you can also look them up on several different places in the catch, in your actual catch, if you get onto the teacher website where you have access to the teacher database, you can go in and you can see these poses being done, and they're also on different posters. If you need posters, we also provide yoga cards. It is one of the things that we are one of our giveaways. So yeah, so then I would keep all of my cards for that day in one at the end of the day, or during, if you've already done before nap time, you've already done your activities, I would put the cards away that are not on the next day, and I would get out my cards for the next day and do the same thing. So you have the front and the back, so you know which ones are you're going to be doing in order. So you have your 4 cards. You can put them in all 4 of the different sleeves if you want, or you can print them out and keep them. You do repeat a lot of the activities throughout the time that you're actually doing the curriculum. So you'll see some of the kids will actually really like 1 or 2 activities when you lesson plan. Add those activities in as a supplement just in case if they're not catching on, or maybe they don't like some activity or they're not really engaging in that activity. It's okay to have that backup activity always with you printed, or on a 3x5 card, like this is my go-to, because I know children, if they are not interested in, say they just not interested in the the race car game, you may have a backup activity that's a vigorous activity they really, really like. So, and then is there anything else you recommend, Tracy?
Yeah, so one thing I recommend is nice. It's nice that you use the curriculum to build your catch lesson. It's kind of done for you. You just have to pick which cards you want to do. Sometimes when we think about doing catch, we think like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to get outside and we're going to do it. What am I going to do?" But we really have all the cards with all the instructions. So just take a few minutes to pull out the ones that you want to do that week in order to feel really organized with your catch activity. It's also nice that every card follows the same exact structure. So that's nice. If you have a new teacher and you're like, could you just pull a couple cards? It's really self-explanatory when you pull the cards out because they follow the same exact structure. My only other advice is to make sure you put it right back in there when you guys are done. They all have page numbers on how they go. And that way, when you go to get it or another classroom goes to get it, if you share this kit with another classroom, the activity is there. So always remember to put it back so the next time you'll have the card.
Yes, and if you in another classroom are doing it at the same time, it makes it easy to pass too. So, say Tracy's class this week is doing she's on week 3, and I'm also on week 3. She can literally take the cards and say, "Here, I've already pulled the cards for you." So we help each other. That is something that works really well at a lot of the schools. I do have just one other piece of advice. Make sure when you write on your lesson plan, you write the activity. You do not have to necessarily, unless if your organization requires you to write down the pre-K standards on every card, there's also a pre-K standard. If you are not required to do that, write the activity on your lesson plan and have your cards available at hand. I do have 2 schools right now that write them on 3x5 cards and keep them on a ring. And so as they're building, they keep them on a ring and they're written in their words, so it's easier for them to follow. So that's just another little like quick fix that other people have done. So that's it, Tracy. Are we?
One more thing, I just wanted to show
Oh
you guys
yes.
the book. So this is the other part of the catch lesson plan, which is the nutrition component to it. So if you open this book, there are lesson plans that go directly with catch that is a nutrition part of it. So same kind of thing. The lesson kind of follows you through what that first week of nutrition education would look like. And they go with the puppets that are either in your kit or that we have your classroom make. And then they kind of go and follow along with this nutrition curriculum. And this is also provided with you for you with the catch kit that you get after you have completed the catch training.
Yes, and since we're mentioning the book, now that I think about it, in the very back is also they are good for kids vocabulary keywords, and these are just helping to build our nutrition literacy. And then also there are parent forms you can print out and give to your parents, and they're in English and in Spanish. So as you see, this is the back of a one that is Spanish, and then the English front page, but I will turn this one so you can see it. So you can print it in English and Spanish. So there's the Spanish version, and then this is the English version. And when you print them out, they're really colorful, they're eye-catching, and they help the parents to be on the same page as what we're doing with the nutrition literacy. Thank you for bringing the book out.
Well, thank you so much for watching our video, and we look forward to your guys' catch journey.
You too. Have a good day.